Elon Musk's most innovative idea to date is set to revolutionize the lives of every single child in America, if not the globe. The billionaire's revolutionary new education system's mantra is less paperwork, more thinking. A school that has ripped the old educational model into a million pieces and hurled it out the window. What began to keep the children of SpaceX employees occupied has evolved into a revolutionary way of thinking that will save American students millions of dollars in the not too distant future. These, ladies and gentlemen, are Astronova. You're downloading data and algorithms into your brain if you think about education. Watch the video till the end if you want to know everything about the new school that the entire team of Elon Musk is tirelessly working towards. But before we go on, make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the notification bell so that you never miss out on any of our content. Elon Musk may be rich over $70 billion and able to send his children to any of the world's top schools, but for the rest of us, the cost of education is one of the essential considerations. Because our children will spend over 15,000 hours within these walls, selecting the right school is vital to their personal development. According to the United States Census Bureau, an average earning family would have to spend around 20% of their hard-earned money on sending one child to private school. Do the math, that's 40% for 2 children, and oh boy, if you've got 5 children, oh boy. Massachusetts, Maryland, and California are among these states that charge upwards of $10,000 a year for elementary education, depending on where you reside. It gets worse in high school. High school charges over $33,000 per year per child, and don't even get us started on college. Columbia charges $61,000 per year, which is insane, and Elon Musk agrees. Thus, unless parents are prepared to gamble on public schools, whose tuition is likewise rising year after year, surpassing the national average of $12,000, they are obliged to burn a hole in their pocketbook to get a possibly subpar education. So, what is driving the soaring numbers? Government greed, private schools are padding their coffers, and scarce resources? Whatever the case may be, something needs to change, and Astronova is about to do so. We'll get into Astronova's remarkable, one-of-a-kind structure in a moment, but first, where did the need for such a far-fetched notion originate from? According to Elon Musk, we require something new and exciting to grasp onto to replace the badly antiquated present educational system. We've seen it all by 2020, but college degrees and high school certificates have become significantly less important in the modern world even before that. Nowadays, success is determined by how well you navigate the actual world rather than how well you memorize a textbook. Richard Branson, the $4.9 billionaire founder of the Virgin Group, and Quentin Tarantino, the 200 millionaires, dropped out of school at 15. David Karp dropped out of a prestigious science school to fund Tumblr before he was old enough to drive. Not to mention dropouts from college. The world's best brains, including Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, and Larry Ellison, the creator of Oracle, have one thing in common: they all dropped out of school. Elon Musk recognized this worrisome truth and included it into the Astronova education's real-world building blocks. Musk has stated that people don't need college to learn stuff, and that jobs at his companies shouldn't require a degree. Okie dokie. So the experimental school was initially known as Ad Astra, which is Latin for to the stars, and it opened quietly on the SpaceX campus in Hawthorne, California in 2014. Musk was frustrated with his children's so-called talented school, which wasn't educating them in things he considered necessary. So, he removed his children and recruited their previous teacher, Joshua Don, and formed the Ad Astra school. Elon's children made up half of the students: his twin sons, Griffin and Xavier, and his younger triplets, Kai, Saxon, and Damien, were all SpaceX workers' offspring. The event was held at one of the company's rocket factories and was free of charge. Imagine going on a space shuttle for recess. After all, when you're spearheading 2 of the world's most forward-thinking tech giants, sometimes delegation is in order. The new virtual institution called Astronova started in 2016, and it operated under the same principles of Ad Astra that are tackling real-world issues. Musk was instrumental in its creation thanks to a significant yet undisclosed donation, but he has since taken a back seat, allowing Joshua Don to take the helm as principal. The average cost of a middle school with 60 students is $26.5 million. Astronova, which is incredibly exclusive, would have cost far less, allowing more money to be spent on things that count, such as real-world education and meaningful student experiences. But how is Astronova different from any other school? To begin with, it is aimed at children aged 9 to 13 who are at a vital point in their cognitive development in the old system. Teachers blabber on about outdated information in the whitewashed classroom. Students take notes, then they have to remember it all for a test. It's repetitive, it's easy to lose focus, and, if you ask Elon Musk, it's mind-numbing. At Astronova, the innovative curriculum throws that concept out of the window. Learning languages from textbooks, music lessons, and even sports lessons are off limits. Instead of using Musk's interest as a starting point, students work on challenging projects that need a lot of critical thinking, constructing robots for epic battles, plotting how to battle flawed artificial intelligence beings, and talking nuclear politics. Every year, the curriculum is redesigned, taking into account the lessons learned from each project simulation and discussed to better the following learning cycle. Didn't strike a chord with a 9-year-old about nuclear politics? That's great. Next year's focus will be on sustainable town planning, astrophysics, and surveillance drones. As of 2021, Astronova will also be spread out online, albeit the lessons will only be held on Thursdays. What is more valuable, 5 days of traditional school or 1 day of study inspired by Elon Musk? You'd be excused for believing that this radical school is only for A-list children and the world's pampered affluent. However, this is not the case. This experimental learning costs amount to $7,500 per student for the entire year, which is equivalent to what hard-working parents are paying for both public and private schools across the United States. Building robots would cost thousands of dollars at any institution, yet at Astronova, that, along with a slew of other fascinating initiatives, all fall within the $7.5K threshold. With that in mind, it isn't prohibitively pricey, and yes, it is available to the general public, so long as you're still young enough to order from the children's menu, that is. In true Musk flair, there is a one-of-a-kind application procedure in which youngsters must solve one of 7 conundrums. Consider the lake conundrum, which deals with manufacturing, pollution, and corruption issues. Who is to blame if a beloved lake next to a thriving town becomes polluted? The company releasing toxic waste into the water? The scientist who couldn't agree on the problem? The politicians who chose to ignore it? Or the voters who elected incompetent politicians? These conundrums don't have a right or wrong answer. They're used to test the child's ability to justify. Undoubtedly, Astronova's online wing might be the start of the future of learning. With the 2020 lockdowns forcing tens of millions of students to engage in online education for the first time, what was previously a discreet, inconspicuous learning institution for SpaceX youngsters has suddenly become the talk of the town. As a result, its relevance and attraction have increased considerably. The traditional school curriculum was not designed to be taught and received through a computer screen, but astronomy concepts were designed to thrive in the digital world. In 5 years, will family homes have a dedicated learning room with a projector and an astronomer live stream? Will school buses become obsolete? It's a crazy idea, but nothing is impossible these days, especially when it comes to Elon Musk. The actual Astronova site is only available to students from Los Angeles. Astronova is searching for friendly, creative, and academically severe students to join its program, and anybody with the correct mentality, motivation, and personality may apply. Tesla is revolutionizing the automotive industry, while SpaceX is attempting to commercialize spaceflight. Could Astronova be the spark that ignites a new era in education? The Los Angeles office is only a trial run. Additional American cities may follow before expanding abroad if it proves to be a huge success. However, as the world shifts online, students are already dipping their toes into a new learning style, providing Astronova with the ideal chance to swoop in and capitalize. However, the school's objectives and functioning are significantly more advanced than simply going online while studying various subjects. If our learning and thinking techniques take a turn, Astronova is created to transform the way people think, educate young people on solving issues, stay confident in their processes, and build their root. When will employment criteria emphasize a person's manner of thinking rather than their CV thinking about it? What's more important, 5 years of experience receiving orders or the ability to solve issues quickly? Although an Astronova university degree, if that notion ever gets off the ground, might prove to be the shining light in the business. Will companies be daring enough to rejig their tried and proven recruitment techniques? Nevertheless, that is the underlying concern. Consider a future where job titles are critical thinking consultant and senior issue solver. It's not as insane as you would imagine. Everything is conceivable, and it is all thrilling, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There are foreseeable drawbacks to a life of unconventional online learning with so few in-person hours. Children may struggle to develop social skills by forgetting about traditional subjects like music and sport. Young people may lose their enthusiasm for extracurricular activities. And most importantly, the lack of conventional education may hamper their job prospects in the near term. There's only one way to know for sure. Twiddle your thumbs while it all plays out in front of your eyes. Please explain why or why not in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.